to another episode of Behind the Dreamers. I'm Jennifer Loading, and we are talking to the achievers, the creators, the magic makers, and the dreamers. These are our friends, these are your friends, and they are living the extraordinary. Today's episode is brought to you by Walt Mills Photography. If you are a creator needing post-production, consultation, or promotion, Walt Mills is your guy. Whether short films, YouTube production, photography work, or a new headshot, he can help you find a solution to match your needs. To learn more about Walt and his work, go to photosbywalt.com. Additionally, we want to give a shout out to Chris Cole of Upbeat Media Productions. If you are in need of turnkey special events production, Chloe is your go-to. You can learn more about him and his work at upbeatmediapro.com. All right, we're super excited to welcome our guest to the show today, Paul Arceneaux. I'm super excited to chat with him. He is an insurance agent here in the Dallas area, just acquired a newly agency in the location. His background's in education, former cross-country and track coach for several different schools, including Vanderbilt University. So welcome to the show, Paul. We're super excited to have you here.
Thank you, Jennifer. It's an honor.
Yeah, this is going to be great. Okay, so what I want to do, Paul, I want to open up because obviously, we've talked several times outside of this, and we've talked about our paths are never linear, right? Our journeys are always changing like the weather, which makes it great. And so now you are taking over this new agency here in the Dallas area, one that's been around for a while. So tell us a little bit about that, who you're serving, what you're doing, and kind of what led you to this process.
Yeah, I'm a farmer's insurance agent. Agency owner. I took over May 1st, and it's at Lovers in the Tollway. It's been there for more than 30 years. So it's got deep roots in the Park Cities and Dallas Metroplex. And I'm excited about this chapter of my life to serve people well as they look to protect their home, auto, life, and businesses.
Awesome. And so obviously, we talked about you coming from your previous career, like you were in the education system for a really long time and then moved into this basically new endeavor or new chapter in your life. What was the turning point? Was this kind of a progression you were looking to change, or just an opportunity came across? How did this come about for you?
Yeah, I'd always, looking back on my life, I'd always been good at selling in some ways. I was across, like you mentioned, I was a head coach at Vanderbilt, cross country and track. And there was probably my hardest community to sell, in that it was senior women in high school on where they would choose their college. And you were going up against some of the top. And so really, doing that, a lot of my roles in independent schooling was director of admissions, so a sales type role. And that's where I'd been successful. So really what instigated this last chapter, of which I hope is my last job, was a desire to stay in one place. With private schooling, I had moved all over the country, lived in a lot of different places once I got out of coaching, and just wanted to have roots here in the Dallas area. Yeah.
Well, and one thing you mentioned earlier, you said that, you were good at selling. Selling's been my background, I feel like, forever too. I feel like it's a natural thing, but, I feel like we're always really kind of selling on some level, because no matter what we do, even when you were in an institution where you were doing schooling in that arena, for something, you were still basically selling, right? And so I used to, when I was training, my team, I would always tell them that, you're really always selling, because when we find something that we like, we talk about it, and that's really selling without trying. So, but I'm with you. I feel like, you get in a place where you do this for a while and you sort of, it really starts to evolve into who you are. And so you really can do a lot of different things if you know how to sell. It's a great skill. So I love it. So, yeah. And so I think this is fun. And so I'd love to know, because you've only been in this, for, a little over a month now, going on your second month, which is kind of exciting. And what's been the best part about this switch so far, other than just staying in the same location now? Anything else that's you're really loving about this now?
I'm really enjoying as a mentor told me in Farmers, Paul, your business now, your work is to meet people. Mm. And so it was kind of a change in focus, but that was always I enjoyed, strangely enough, the meetings with parents about kids who had discipline issues, and really enjoyed the one-on-one type meetings. I mean, I go to networking events now where there's a lot of people in the room, but I try to break it down to meeting people one-on-one and getting business cards and then setting up one-on-one meetings with them, as you and I did way back when. So I've enjoyed that. I really enjoy getting to know people better and what makes them tick, and seeing if I can help them.
Yeah. And I think too, once you get from that space of, I got to throw my business cards at people solely and not get to know people, I think once you get past that, it makes such a huge difference in what you do and how you conduct business, because really, no matter what business you own or whatever you're doing, it's really built on relationships. If you want to keep solid people in your space, we know that you have to build the relationships, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think being authentic with people, I try to be sincere and authentic with people. And it what it's done for me, it leads people to trust me sooner in the process. I feel like you can speak to that maybe, but I feel like when I meet people, they trust me fairly early in the process, and it's been nice to see God's blessings on my business as people have turned to me for their insurance needs or referred me to those who had needs.
Yeah. And authenticity, it's hard because, as entrepreneurs, we want to look like we have everything together and it's all right, right? We know that it's not, but the ego gets in the way and we want to know that it's all right. We don't want people to see us vulnerable and weak, but I think people really come to appreciate that genuine authenticness when you're trying to sell to them, or, because I would say it's just as honorable to sell as it is to buy, right? It goes both ways. Yeah. And it really comes down to, serving people and finding that need, and not just pushing something on somebody that they don't really want or need, right? Like, it's finding the right people and keeping those people. How do you keep those people that you have happy so that, yes, they will stay with you, but also bring you new, fresh people to meet. And that comes from the relationships, the authenticity. Yeah. I think that's good. Right. So as an entrepreneur, because now, you moved out of this space of working into, hey, I have this employer and now I'm technically my own person. Now I'm in charge of my 8 to 5 or whatever that looks like. There's the beauties that come with that, because we get the freedom. I always say the freedom to move about the cabin, right? We get to call the shots, decide when we want to work. But we also know as an entrepreneur, it's like running. There are days we don't want to show up. There are days it doesn't go. There are days we don't meet our own personal quotas or goals, right? So what do you feel like has been maybe, moving into this new space? And it may just be transitioning, whatever that is for you. What do you feel like was maybe the biggest challenge that you had to overcome going into this new space for you?
I haven't been as successful as I like to be, and that's been true in my life throughout. So I've got to be patient with myself. I just the last Friday, I just get these good days. I sold 6 policies, and they were referred from other people who are lenders and others. And so that was a high day, and I just have to remember to take the highs with the lows. And I guess trying to figure out what do I have control over, because I like to have control. I think we all do in some ways. And God tends to work me into places where I need to trust him. And but I have control over my activity. I don't have control necessarily over whether people are going to buy my products or anything, but I have control over whether I'm putting myself in front of people, whether I'm being active, going to networking events, setting up one-on-one meetings. Those are the things I have control over.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. I think that so often, a couple of things you said there that are important. Oftentimes, we set these metrics of standards, like what we feel like is success and what isn't. And when we don't meet that, we feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not meeting that metric, and one of the things I always try to tell people is really, like you said, just really taking stock of the wins, really noting where you're having those successes, because I think it makes it a little easier to navigate when you hit those lows, right? Like going through that. But another thing you really said that I think is important is controlling your activity, because I think in sales, so often we get dependent. We rely on the other people to do what we want them to do. And we know humans don't do what we want them to do. We know our own children don't do what they want. We are much less. We're going to get other people to do what we want them to do. Right. And so that is one of the things, like when I was in the network marketing space, I was doing a lot of sales. And that was one of the things that I could always count on was my activity. And even what I do today, I still try to focus on what Jennifer can do, the activity that Jennifer can do, because then I don't get disappointed. When I stay true to that, I don't really care what anybody else does. They're their own people. And I'm just here to make those, what I have or whatever available to them. They take it or they leave it, but I'm not disappointed, And so it's a hard process it's a hard process, but I think we do it across all trades. I think anybody that's in that, entrepreneur space, I think this is like a commonality among everybody, So,
yeah, I agree.
Thanks for sharing that. That's good. Yeah. Our people that listen to this, we get different people, and a lot of people are entrepreneurs or people that are going after things. And it's fun to hear these challenges, because I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, like I said, they feel that we're sort of on a pedestal, or that we're immune to all the adversity that happens. And they may say, well, I can't do this because I have this condition, or that, the odds are not in my favor. But we just know that when we want something, we just make it happen. We just weather it, So thanks for sharing that. What do you feel like you've learned in this, through, and I would make this maybe go back all the way to the beginning, because your career has been long. It's been vast. You've done a lot of incredible things, and like I said, changed directions. What do you feel like you've learned in this journey that you could say, hey, if I could tell my younger self, you said patience. I've gotten that from you. Be patient, and trust yourself. But anything else that you could lend that you've learned in this process?
Yeah, I've learned. I've always done things that I had a passion for and found fun, honestly. Mm-hmm. And so, in this stage of my life, I want to be captain of my own ship. That's part of what motivated me to get into what I'm doing now. And I find that, I have a lot of pride in what I do. So it spills over to, I think, serving my clients well. But from the word go, when I got into education, I just enjoyed working with young people and helping people reach their goals was big for me as I got further into coaching and things like that.
Yeah. Well, and you said something earlier, I forgot to mention it, when you said you enjoyed meeting the parents. And I'm like, it's so funny because I know so many teachers, and that is not usually something on their list of wanting to do, right? Like they're like, no, don't want to deal with the parents, So I'm impressed by that, because I think it takes a lot of courage and passion to be able to, and I think maybe at that level, you're kind of dealing with a little bit different people maybe than say like, in the regular public school system or something. But I think that's admirable, because it's not every day that teachers want to, have to deal with the rest of the family involved, so. Yeah,
I was probably most comfortable after my kids were out of high school and had moved beyond that stage. Yeah. So I knew how much I had failed parenting them through that stage. Yeah. And I could in some way maybe give, I don't know, I think we all need some grace, and give parents grace as they came in and were worried about, parenting tends to be we have a trouble forgiving ourselves over parenting stuff. And so that's what I tried to do, was just be a good listener and let them know this is not the end of the world if their child has made a mistake or chosen poorly. Yeah. And parenting is hard. And I said something the other day, I don't know if it was on a show or where I was talking. I said, I feel like the hardest, when you're a parent and they're little and you think you're going through the diapers and the bottles, you think, oh my gosh, it's never going to end, right? Like it's never going to end. Then you get the terrible twos, right? And then you feel like you get a little break there, right? And then they become teenagers. And then you get to this new phase of teen to young adult. And nobody really talks about that phase. It's hard too. It's hard because I'm in it right now. It's hard, I get told like my oldest is, I think she's going to be 26 in September. So I think we're kind of at that point now where we're getting back to, okay, normalcy. She's married, normalcy. But I'm like, everybody keeps saying, just wait, they come back around and they get back normal again. I'm like, okay, because I'm waiting for that part. Yeah. you become a friend. I've found it's been nice. Now I'm a grandparent now. My daughter had her child in December, and we have a great relationship. She asked me for tips about her marriage and stuff, and so
like, where'd that come from, right? Where did you want advice from your dad, right?
I know. How about that? Yeah.
I know. Right now, I feel like I don't know. I feel like all of mine right now are in that phase where they sort of kind of think they know all things. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Whatever. I'm back up. I don't have energy for this today, right? Pick your battle. Yeah. So This is great. All right, Paul, if you had to sum yourself up in one word, what would you pick?
Probably discipline.
I like that.
I think I have the discipline. It's never scared me to say that 5 o'clock comes twice a day, and I think I just I'm disciplined.
Yeah, I like that. I am too, and I think discipline is one of those things that you're not really born with it. You learn it. I think you learn it from doing over and over and over things you don't want to do. Some that you want to do, but I think you just kind of learn to. I always joke, you'll get a kick out of this, because when I was growing up, my mom was a military kid. And so when I was growing up, I always had to make my bed, and I had to do the military tucks. Like I had to do the full on, and something happened when I moved out and got on my own. Like I just I'm terrible at making my bed. I'm just terrible at making my bed. I hate it. And I think it was because she so much when I was a kid was like, make your bed. But I learned great skills about discipline, and, and I talk about, how I get up at pretty much 5 a.m. every single day of the week. I have a lot to do in the morning. I cherish my morning. I don't know about you, but I like to have that morning time. I don't want to be interrupted. And, people will ask me, they're like, why are you up every day? I'm like, dude, like I got a lot to get done before people get up in the world. I can crank some stuff out before the phone starts.
Yeah. And it doesn't, you don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most skilled, but if you can apply yourself with discipline, I found that a lot of people are successful by doing that.
And it takes time. It's not one of those things where you can just say, I'm going to do this for, 4 or 5 weeks and it's going to be all done. And it's a lot. You have to take it as a part of your life. It's like, I was telling someone this story yesterday that, I taught aerobics for many years, and I didn't really grow up exercising. My mom did go to the gym back when Cosmopolitans were around and Jazzercise was really, really big. She would take us and we'd sit in the nursery and watch her, but we weren't really, as a family, totally like everybody was doing active exercise. But interestingly enough, when I had my first child, I started teaching aerobics, and I did it at the time because I had babysitting. I had built-in babysitter. I'd take her to the gym with me. She'd stay there. I'd go teach classes. But it wasn't until really 2012 when I had this whole medical crisis come up that exercise became like a part of who I was, because it helped me get through some really tough times. And it was in 2014 when I started running heavily. And I talk about this in my book, how it became therapeutic for me because I could divert the pain. I could move it into my legs or into something else. And it gave me a way to just pound it, Right. But interestingly enough, a few years ago, I went into the gym. I work out every day now. I've done it for years now. Went into the gym, had a personal trainer come up to me, and he was like, so what are your goals for fitness? And I'm like, I don't have any goals right now. Like, how you get up every day, you brush your teeth. It's part of your life. That's how I view my workouts now. It's just who I am, my existence.
Yeah.
But to the point of this, that discipline, it wasn't an overnight thing. It took time for it to become part of who I am and ingrained in my, like I say, my DNA as an individual now, and there's no negotiation. I never have a day where I go, should I exercise? Should I not? If I decide not to exercise, it's because I made a choice today to take a break. I'm going to take a break. So discipline.
And it's cheaper than therapy, I think.
Is it not? Right. Is it?
Right.
It is. And really you can cure. I mean, it doesn't cure. It's not going to fix you all together, right? Like it's not going to fix everything, but it is a start to healing you and getting you in the right headspace.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I love it. That was good. I like that. Good word for you. And it fits.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Paul, this has been fun. Anything exciting coming up that you're doing or anything going on that we should know about in this insurance world that you got going on? Other than
gosh, insurance is going up, as we all know,
right.
Like everything else. So, building a home costs more, repairing a home, repairing an auto. So therefore the risks that's kind of what I've had to more than anything, I've had to explain to my clients the risks that we take on has gone up, but hopefully not as much as other things. I don't know. But we're in a great area. I feel like DFW, I read a great article on how many billions of dollars of tax revenue came our way from states like New York and California because of the way we do things down here. So,
Texas is a great place to have a business for sure.
It is.
A lot happening here. And you're right. Everything's going up. I mean, I was buying collagen the other day and I was mad because my collagen went up.
Yeah.
I've been using collagen since 2017. I've been buying, it's been the same price like all along. And the other day I go to buy it and I'm like, oh, everything's going up. Even my collagen's going up. It's all across the board. But I'm sure, like you said, you're big on building relationships. So that whole, the customer service that you're going to provide, and that's a big thing in this industry because you are competing with a lot of, I say, insurance, financial planners, real estate agents, or, even myself as coaches, we all compete. What sets us apart? And it's really how we take care of our clients and building those relationships and making them feel valued with using you as their provider. Right.
Yep.
All right, so I want to do some fun questions. We're going to change this up. This is fun. This is called my rapid fire. It's a little less serious. So us serious people have to get unserious on it. But I say rapid. It's not always rapid. I don't lie. All right, so Paul, let's do this. Favorite guilty pleasure food?
Guilty pleasure food favorite. I mean, I don't know if it's guilty, but pizza. I love pizza. I don't know if that's a bad thing for us, but I love pizza. It's
all right. Any particular kind? Is it like a pineapple?
I like the works.
You like
I like the works on it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like pizza too. I don't eat it very much, but I do like pizza. Okay. Favorite destination spot that you've traveled to?
I just got back from there, Breckenridge, Colorado.
Oh, fun.
I've done this the last maybe 7 years. I go in the summer. It's like I went 2 weeks ago, high, never got above 66 degrees.
Yeah.
And then it was down about 40 degrees in the morning. I just love it. It's just God's creation. I'm much more of a mountain than a beach person. And of course, I'm riding my mountain bike and I'm also running still up there as well. So
Colorado is a great place. The weather is nice there. You get that cool down in the evening and then warms up just enough that you can still cool down in the evening. So cool. Awesome. And I've been to Colorado a few times, done some vacationing there. And my daughter and son-in-law, their parents have a condo up there that they rent out, but they'll go up there and stay up there for like a week and, do activity stuff. So great place.
I love, as I'm getting older, my speed is getting slower as a runner.
Yeah.
But when I get up there and I get on a trail, you feel faster because things are moving by you quicker.
Yeah.
Than on the roads of doubt.
But you got to deal with the altitude though, right? Because the altitude is obviously, we're on sea level here. You go to Colorado and you're like, got to suck in the air,
Right.
A little thin there. Probably make you a tough runner. You come back and you're probably like, well, this is easy here. I just got to deal with the heat.
A lot of oxygen.
Yeah. I know, like when the heat drives me crazy. It's like when I go run, it's either I got to do it first thing in the morning before that sun starts, or I'm at the gym on the treadmill. Like I can't.
Yeah.
The heat just makes me nuts out here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Favorite book that you read? Any favorite author or particular one that comes to mind?
What is a favorite book that I've read recently? That's a good question.
I've read too many. I can't remember. Well, any author that you can think of you like?
Bob Goff.
Okay.
He's a lawyer and teaches at Pepperdine. And he's got some really great messages on positivity and Bob Goff.
I'm have to check that out. This is a good part. I get book lists from this. That's how I find out what to read. All right, this is a fun one. What's the first concert you ever attended?
First concert was the Cars in the warehouse in New Orleans.
Oh, wow. I remember the Cars. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. All right. Very last question. What's in your Amazon cart?
What's in my cart? My cart?
Your Amazon cart. It's my favorite question. My favorite question.
Yeah. Well, just today I had Nike shoes come in.
Awesome. I've ordered shoes off Amazon.
Running shoes.
Yeah, I've done the same. I've ordered Brooks off Amazon. They come in fast. You don't have to go shop and get them. Hey, look, if you know, it's funny because I have certain shoes. I love New Balance. I love Brooks. I love Asics. Like I have certain ones. And it's like when I find one shoe, I keep buying the same Brooks right now. Like I just get a different color. It's like they wear out, I go get the same one again. And it's easy.
You know your size. Yeah.
And you don't have to shop. You can just keep, if you don't really care about those kinds of things, just buy the same pair. Just get a different color.
Right.
This is good.
I'm with you.
Awesome. All right, Paul. Well, this was awesome. If our listeners wanted to learn a little bit more about you, find out about insurance, whatever, where do we want to send them?
If they do a farmer's insurance search at the Tollway in Lovers, they'll find me right there. My website, all the phone number, everything, email.
Awesome. When this gets ready to go out, I'll make sure that, well, obviously I'll get the links to you. I'll get everything to you, but we'll also tag you or wherever we need to make sure there's contact information so they know how to find you and all that good stuff.
Great. Thank you.
All right. And so to our listeners, we want to say, if you enjoy our show, please be sure you give us a rating both on iTunes and Facebook, because we can't do this without you, and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube. And we know that in order to have success, we must start, and every start begins with a decision. You guys take care, be safe, and be kind to one another. We will see you next time.